In this last video, one of the major areas that I saw a strength within is maybe something that you can't really recognize within the specific video because it wasn't necessary to maybe show what they were watching, but kind of understanding the students' interests and backgrounds that they bring to the table. And I show this through choosing a short film called Hair to have them watch and then eventually use to kind of put those plot points within the short film onto the plot mountain and use that to then talk about how the theme was developed. And this film specifically, resonates with some of my African American community students in regards to kind of the aspect of, the difficulty of doing their hair and how it is so different and that it takes a lot of work. And then also kind of involving the relationship of, a father and a daughter or a mother and a daughter or son, or kind of playing into that parent kind of relationships with their children. And so understanding kind of my students' background in making that choice, but also the music is engaging and upbeat within it, even though it's more about a serious topic. It's funny. They use different, analogies and things, but without using any of their voices. And so I think that's another kind of key thing that kind of makes them stay hooked because they have to watch it and visualize and see it. It's not able to just be listened to where they can go off in La La Land and be able to do the task that I'm asking them. And I wanted to do a video rather than a short story or a text because that is what we had been working on majority of the previous unit. And so kind of mixing it up by providing them with a video for practice instead of another text to read. Also with taking notes, like the last thing they want to do is read more. So just being able to watch and kind of absorb some of the information that way, I think is one of the strengths within this. I also think other kind of strategies that were strengths within this last video here is allowing the students, once they do, have their thoughts and ideas written down, collaborating with either their peer next to them, their table, staying independent, kind of giving them that choice, but then ultimately going and asking different students to write their example up on the board for the plot points. It allows that physical movement to come into play, especially after sitting down for so long. It also allows them to feel like they are a part of everyone's learning, not just so individualized or so to themselves. And then two, allowing those maybe to either realize like, oh, I am arriving at the same similar plot points that everyone else is, or mine are definitely different. Why? What am I missing? Allowing them a little bit of that self-reflection. And then the last piece that I thought was a strength was having the student summarize what they learned at the end of the lesson just by putting it on a sticky note and sticking those notes to the board. It's a super quick and formal assessment for me, allows me to see, like, did they truly understand the learning target? Did they truly know what we were trying to get out of taking these notes, doing this practice, the whole lesson in general? And so that ended up kind of allowing me to see, like, okay, do they understand the theme development piece rather than just identifying a theme? Some different areas, opportunities for growth, is allowing students to kind of use the hair video to relate the content to their own personal lives. I think I kind of missed the opportunity there to allow them to make their own personal connections to what we are interacting with, and then allowing them to then create maybe a message or a theme for that specific moment within their life, just to make it feel more personal and valuable to them. I also think, one of the student that I approached, he's one of my more reluctant learners, typically very disengaged during class. So I was happy to see he was engaged. And as I'm helping him, I wish I would have celebrated his success a bit more, because after rewatching the video, as soon as I walked away, he truly did start writing on his paper, and felt confident enough to arrive at some sort of response or answer. And so I wish I would have acknowledged that with him, since he is one of those students that typically doesn't want to do a whole lot, and will shut down easily. So that was an area that I wish I would have kind of recognized, okay, this is someone who, you know, typically I have to go to in order for him to get work done. And this time he kind of like acknowledged me as I was walking by, wanting to, initiate a conversation and getting help with his response.